Hi, this is Paul Spica with Spica Real Estate, and you're watching our first-time home buyer video series. And this video is on appraisals. Not the most exciting topic, but something that is extremely important and frequently necessary if the property that you're purchasing is being purchased with a traditional mortgage. In the last video, we talked about the inspections that you may or may not have done. We always recommend that you do. After that, very frequently, one of the next major hurdles is the appraisal. And so the appraisal is typically required by and ordered by the lender. It's a lender requirement. Again, if there's no lender involved, we may not need an appraisal. And so the lender will order the appraisal for you, and they will order it through an appraisal management system of some sort. This is a third-party blind system that creates some distance between the loan officer and the appraiser. It used to be that the loan officer would call the appraiser, his appraiser buddy, and say, please go appraise this property at 123 Main Street. And a handful of years ago, that system was kind of turned on its end, and now we have this third-party system where the loan officer has absolutely no contact with the appraiser, no direct contact. And there's some pros and cons to that, but ultimately it does add more time to the transaction. When the appraisal has been ordered, the appraiser will coordinate a time with sellers to go out, and he'll do a visual inspection of the home on the outside and the inside to take measurements, make sure it's the right square footage, and to get on the inside to see, does it have granite, does it have formica, does it have linoleum, or does it have Brazilian cherry floors? What are the features and what are the specifications of the home? Then they'll go back to their office and they will start to pull up what we call comparable sales. And these are going to be sales that are similar to the subject property, the home that they are appraising for you. And they're going to find these comparable sales usually within the last 6 months and within a certain range of size and style and fit and finish. And they're going to say, if that house and that house and that house sold for this range, then the subject property needs to be within that range as well, plus or minus some of the features that that home might have. The appraiser's job, this is very important to remember, the appraiser's job is to justify the purchase price to the bank. The bank needs to know that the purchase price is accurate based on market conditions. So it is very common for the purchase price to be $106,292. It's very common for the appraisal to come in exactly at that number. It's less common for the appraisal to come in above value, and sometimes it does come in below value. But don't be surprised if it comes in right at value. Appraisals can be a sticking point. It does happen that sometimes appraisals come in low, and it is possible to argue an appraisal. It is sometimes difficult. Sometimes you get a second appraisal if needed, but appraisals can be challenging. This is where having an experienced agent working with you can help you navigate that with the seller's agent, with the appraiser, with the lender, and work to a solution that works well for everybody. One of the reasons in our market right now that appraisals can be a sticking point is because we are in an upward trend. The values continue to rise, and this was best explained to me a few years ago that appraisers use data from yesterday to prove today's value. And if we're going up in price each month, each quarter, then appraisers are looking at yesterday's price, which is likely lower than what today or tomorrow's price is going to be. Now, they can make adjustments, but that is sometimes a challenge. We always encourage our agents and our clients to talk through the idea of an appraisal on the front end. We're out looking at the property. A good question for a buyer to ask their agent is, do you think this home will appraise for the list price or for the price that we would like to buy it for? And no agent should shoot from the hip, but with a little bit of research, we can actually look at the comparable sales that it's very likely the appraiser will look at. So we're looking at the same data. And if If the home that you're buying is $150 a square foot, and we see in the neighborhood everything is $100 a square foot, there might be a red flag that comes up and says, why is this 150 bucks a square foot? Are there reasons to justify it? Are there features of the homes that justify it? Or is it overpriced? Are we going to run into an appraisal issue? We like to have that information on the front end to minimize the chance that a bad appraisal or an appraisal that's low will come in. Once the appraisal is done, there are a few more hurdles to jump in the process, but we are definitely getting into the home stretch. In our next video, we're going to talk about title insurance and what that means to you as a buyer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.